Well, shucks. There's one thing I didn't measure, and that was the fact that this surface is sloped downward toward the camera somewhat, so that the bottle was not vertical. All the measurements I gave you for the slopes and everything were with respect to vertical, and I didn't give you the slope of the bottle, and I'm not going to give you the slope of the bottle. We're just going to repeat the experiment. Hopefully that's good, and see what difference that might make. Now I could have done this, it only takes a couple of minutes, and pretended I got it right every time, but then you wouldn't see the modifications we need to make in an experiment, the types of modifications, the types of things we need to think about in order to get really accurate results. And it looks like my fingers are getting a little sticky. Another thing I would have done differently is I would have gotten a sugar-free beverage. I swear this thing is moved. I don't really see it. Yeah, maybe. Okay. So now we have another run, and we can compare. We can see if straightening this thing out, because now it is close to vertical, to within probably about 1%. And I can be specific about what I mean by that, but nothing else is that accurate here. So we can see if there's actually a difference in the results, because everything else is pretty much the same. And the analysis of uncertainties and errors is one of the most critical aspects of experimentation. So we'll talk about that a little bit. But not in the not in the early analysis of this phenomenon. And really the goal of this experiment, the primary goal, is to show an example of a quadratic function. And coincidentally, there's also a linear function involved here. And the relationship between quadratic and linear functions is very profound. There's a great deal of insight to be gained from that relationship, and we are going to talk a little bit and detail that relationship to an extent.